Hello, and thank you for joining me and my beans for veg.
Please type in the comments, say hi, let me know that you are here and that you can see me and that you can hear me, because I have an extra special cheer for you today. Is anybody out there? Oh, phew, somebody's out there. Okay, here goes. Are you ready? It goes like this. Beans, beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the less you toot. The more beans you eat, the better you'll feel. So let's have beans at every meal. Woo! I did a herky. Hi, Cousin Mildred. Hi, Rob. Thank you for being here for Veg with Lisa Live, where today I am going to highlight, again, I did this a couple weeks ago. I talked about some amazing, amazing beans. And I'm going to make a roasted pepper Tepary bean hummus. Now, don't worry if you don't have these fancy Tepary beans. You can use regular old chickpeas or white beans. One of the reasons I wanted to show you how to make this hummus is to just illustrate that you can really use any kind of bean for your hummus. But I love these beauties. They are from the Southwest, and it's called Tepary, Tepary. And my friend Emily turned me onto them. So let's get to cooking, and I'm going to tell you all about these beans and about roasting peppers and about making homemade hummus. Well, what in the world do we want to make our own hummus for? Well, Cousin Mildred is tuning in from Wales, but for those of us here in the States, Sunday is the Super Bowl, and my former hometown, Kansas City, their Chiefs, their Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, and it's a day when, hey, Lisa, happy to see you. It's a day when we often make a lot of snacks and we have food, and usually it's a bunch of junk food and like that fake cheese and a crock pot stuff. So I wanted to show you how easy it is to make your own hummus in case you want to. All at the same time, I'm going to highlight these amazing white beans. But let's get to cooking first. So in my homemade hummus recipe, you know, you can easily buy hummus. I'm going to put some garlic. You can easily buy hummus, but I don't know. I think that homemade is often better, not always. Sometimes we just do what's the best for us. Now I'm going to explain, and the easiest, I'm going to explain why I'm using such a large clove of garlic, because these Tepary beans that I made have a little bit stronger flavor, and so they can handle a little bit more garlic, or so my friend Todd told me. Todd and Emily are where I got the idea of making hummus with these Tepary beans. Rob says that the video's cutting in and out. I hope that's not the case for the rest of you, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it. But thanks, Rob. Anyway, it's probably the connection. There's a balloon flying overhead. Never too much garlic, Lisa says. Okay. Anyway, so I've got my garlic. I'm going to use a food processor to make my homemade hummus. If you don't have one, you probably could use a blender or something. But if you don't have a Cuisinart, you know what? You can often pick these up at garage sales because people buy them and then they never use them. Anyway, so another reason why, while I deal with this red pepper here, I roasted this red pepper ahead of time. And if you've never done this before, it's super easy. You put a whole red bell pepper in the oven and you broil it, or under your broiler. And then you put it in a paper bag and let it cool. And then the charred skin will just pull off. Isn't that cool? So another reason I'm making my own hummus is because I like to flavor it the way I want to. And I think roasted red peppers are delicious in hummus. You would not have to put this red pepper in there if you didn't want to. In fact, the last time I made this, I just threw in a raw red pepper. Look at this. This is so amazing. Yeah. So I've got a large clove of garlic for Lisa and for my friend Emily in the Cuisinart, in the food processor. And I'm going to throw in, this was a really, really large pepper. So I'm probably not going to do the whole thing, but you could. And you just kind of got to get your hands in here and get down and dirty. Another reason I like to make my own homemade hummus is because sometimes the store-bought stuff has stuff that we don't want in it, like canola oil or other inflammatory oils. Sometimes gasp, it might have sugar as well. Well, we definitely do not need sugar. no sugar in our homemade hummus. Okay, so I think this is about enough of this roasted red pepper. I put these in almost everything. Let's see. Lisa asks, what a great question. How long in the oven? Lisa, you just want to broil it until it's charred on all sides. And I put it under the broiler, and then you'll need to turn it like with some tongs so you don't burn your fingers. And then just turn it so that the pepper gets charred on all sides. And then put it in the paper bag and let it cool. So I did this ahead of time so that I wouldn't burn my fingers, because they're really hot when they come out of the oven, especially all this moisture. There's going to be a lot of steam and you don't want to burn yourself. Okay, so enough of that. And I need to rinse my hands here real quickly because that was very messy. Another reason I don't necessarily, you're welcome, I don't like to buy the homemade hummus again is because the store-bought hummus is because often it has that stuff in it that we don't want. So when you make it at home, you get to control what goes in your hummus, your rules. So let me show you. These are the Tepary beans that I cooked ahead of time, and I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about that. And by the way, if you don't want to cook your own beans, you can just use cans. Lisa says control. Absolutely. You get to control what goes in your hummus, and then you can control what goes in your belly. Anyway, these are from the southwestern part of the U.S. and also the southwestern part of North America in Mexico, the Sonora Desert. These are amazing. And what I love about these, one of the many things I love about these, is they have even more nutrition than regular beans. They have more protein per ounce than the common beans that we're used to. They have higher amounts of calcium, niacin, iron, magnesium, zinc, and those minerals. And they are a great source of calcium. But perhaps the biggest amazing thing about these beans is they have 21 grams of protein per serving. 21 grams. Ask me where I get my protein. Right here in the beans. You know what? If you Google them, Lisa asks, how hard is it to find them? Not that hard. This is the brand that I like of these. It's called Ramona Farms, and these are the black Tepary beans. They also come in brown and white. If you Google Tepary, Tepary, I'll post it in the comments. You can find them. You just order them online. Again, you can use chickpeas or regular white beans if you want instead. Okay, but I got distracted. 21 grams of protein, and drum roll please, 52 grams of fiber. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So I cooked these bad boys ahead of time in my beautiful red pot that I love, so you can see. And just because I think it's fun and I geek out on these things in the kitchen, I want to show you my little setup here. Look at this. These are some of my favorite kitchen tools. A jar, a funnel, and yes, this is a yellow Tupperware strainer, probably from the 70s. Don't judge me. You probably have one in your kitchen as well. So I cook these until they're tender. You want to make sure you get them well cooked, because otherwise they will give you gas. And then I like to drain them like this so that I can collect the juice. Yes, save your bean juice, people. This is your aquafaba. You can use this to thicken your soups. You can use it to saute if you're doing oil-free. You can add it to stuff. You can add it to the hummus if you want it a little juicier. So save your bean juice. And I'm a little bit awkward here. I got so many things going on. There's your hummus, and I realized, or your beans. I realized I forgot a measuring cup. So bear with me. All right, I'm going to measure some beans, and again, you can use any kind of beans. About 1.5 cups of cooked beans, which is 1 can's worth. And I've got a large clove of garlic because the Tepary beans are a stronger flavor. I've got my red pepper that I roasted and peeled ahead of time. Now I've put my cooked beans in here. What else do I want to put in here? I think we're going to need some salt. And again, these beans, they're going to soak up quite a bit. Remember, we get our excess sodium from processed foods, not our home cooking. And cumin. Tepary beans go really, really well with cumin. And cumin is really, really friendly with the flavors of the Middle East and the Mediterranean, where we often think of hummus coming from. Okay, Let's see, what else? I probably better give this a grind. Wonder, do any of the rest of you make your own homemade hummus? I'm curious. Cousin Mildred, do you make your own hummus? Lisa, do you make your own hummus? Oh, it's just whirring away. Am I pleasing her? Yeah. Okay, some olive oil. Drizzle that in. I love this. I get to show off so many of my favorite kitchen tools. Okay, in fact, this is another one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. This is turning into be more of a kitchen gadget show than it is an educational show. I know this is plastic too, but I love this because it just measures in the ounces. So I've got some lemon, and this is a fancy schmancy lemon because we like to be fancy schmancy on this show. This is a Meyer lemon. You can use regular lemon, but my friend Emily has a Meyer lemon tree in her house in California, and she sent me a box of these, and they are so delicious. And again, because the Tepary beans have a little bit stronger flavor, the Meyer lemons are a little fruitier, and so I think they're going to be just perfect with this hummus. Okay, you notice how I just use my fingers. You could use a fancy tool for that if you wanted to, but I like to get down and dirty with it. I think we need just a little bit more lemon juice. There's a lot of fresh lemon. Yeah, a lot of fresh lemon in traditional hummus. Here we go. Fancy schmancy. Okay, cool. And then another ingredient that you may or may not have in your cupboard is tahini. It's just sesame seed paste. And I'm going to put some of this in here. So it's kind of like if you took a sesame seed and you made butter out of it, kind of like peanuts and peanut butter. This is sesame seeds and sesame seed paste. Again, very traditional in hummus. So if you're buying hummus, unless you don't want the tahini, you want to make sure that it's got real tahini in it, sesame seeds. Okay, let's give this another whir. Yeah, so I think I mentioned this, but Tepary beans are a really great source of calcium. We don't need dairy for calcium for strong bones. White beans especially have a really fantastic source of calcium. Okay. How are we doing? I think I've got it all in there. Let me show you. So if you're making hummus for a party, you might want to make a beautiful big platter. I just made a little small one because this is going to be my lunch. And let's see. Isn't that pretty? That roasted red pepper. Where'd my spoon go? Here it is. That roasted red pepper. Oh, yeah. And you can smooth it out. You can make it as smooth as you want, or you can leave it a little bit chunky like I've done here. Ah, that's so pretty. And because I like a little spice, I like a little zip. And I'm really into chili oil and chili crisp these days. And this is my favorite. My friend Sabrina here in Asheville, the Spice Switch, she makes the most amazing chili crisp and chili oil. I'm going to put just a teeny weeny little bit of her chili oil and chili crisp on the top of my hummus. Roasted red pepper Tepary bean hummus. Doesn't that look incredible? Let me turn you up here so I don't get my hair in my lunch. Okay. It's absolutely delicious. These are some of my favorite crackers, Mary's Garden crackers, by the way. Let's give this a taste. It's so good. Now, in case you missed my cheer, my bean cheer, beans, the magical fruit, the more you eat, the less you toot. What's up with that? Beans can cause digestional issues for some of us, but in general, it's your gut, not the food. So we tend to think that things like beans, broccoli, cruciferous veg, that they cause us problems, and so we say we're intolerant to them and we can't eat them. When in fact, when you have a healthy gut microbiome, you should be able to manage those things. So if you're not used to it, and if hummus makes you toot, or if beans make you toot, start slow and work these things back into your diet. Your gut will heal, and eventually you'll be able to digest them without tooting. Here we go. Sing it with me. Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the less you toot. The better, the more beans you eat, the better you'll feel. So let's have beans with every meal. I'm not going to do another herky. Thank you for joining me all the way from Wales, Cousin Mildred, and everyone else for Veg with Lisa Live. Go Chiefs!